Real quick, just wanted to remind everyone, I have a movie channel. I have a lot of videos on the Best Picture nominees, stuff like that. I'm coming up with some tier list of David Fincher movies and Quentin Tarantino movies coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe to that. The link is in the description, and anyway, back to your regularly scheduled video. Patrick Mahomes has had a lot of clutch moments in his career. Most of them are very iconic and have been, etched in NFL history very clearly. But there's one moment that kind of has gotten forgotten a little bit, and it's this one, which was, if you remember, the New England Patriots just took the lead with 32 seconds left in the game. It was actually a little bit more than 32 seconds left, but we got to this point where Chiefs only one timeout, 32 seconds left, which, with some of the comebacks Mahomes would pull off later on in his career, feels like nothing. It feels like, oh, he's got plenty of time. But at the time, you're talking about a guy in his first NFL season against the greatest dynasty in sports, at least at the time being. And it's Bill Belichick, who, greatest defensive mind of all time. This is a tough situation for a young player to be in. You see the concept that the Patriots are in. They're not doing the Buffalo Bills 13 seconds, let's play off coverage and, hope that we can just make the tackles in front. And no, the Patriots, I wouldn't say they're playing aggressive, but they're playing man coverage across the board. It is a bit of a prevent defense with just a three-man rush, but they're still making sure that they're not just giving you easy yardage here. Mahomes is going to take the snap. He, looks down the field, doesn't love what he sees right away, and there's still pressure right away. So even though it was a three-man rush, they get pressure pretty clearly. I mean, again, if you get sacked here, this is a devastating blow. You would have to use your timeout. You're now talking, this very early on into the play, but maybe like 29 seconds left with no timeouts, trying to get that far down the field. That's tough. However, instead, Mahomes is going to make a man miss. He eventually looks down the field and he sees a receiver he wants to hit. But this is still a tough throw. You're off balance. You have to make this work. But that's going to be exactly what Mahomes does. You get a 20-yard completion right there. Do not get out of bounds. They were trying to hurry up to spike it, but Andy Reid says, no, let's just call it a timeout now. Let's not worry about that. This is the good time to call a timeout. Let's do it, which was the smart, you don't say this too often, but good clock management by Andy Reid there. And that brings us here. So they're still outside of field goal range at the 49-yard line. And you see, let's take a look at that New England player right there. Watch him jump off sides, which it can't happen. You can't have this jump off sides here. That's just a bad mistake, as, it's already not good because you can give them a free 5 yards. But what makes it even worse is the Kansas City Chiefs are now, they have the free play, so you can push the ball downfield, so that's another negative aspect, but it gives them a free timeout, because if you get tackled inbounds, the clock still is going to stop due to the penalty. It's man coverage that the New England Patriots are in, and they're actually sending pressure. Again, Bill Belichick, not the kind of guy who's going to completely play off and say, okay, he's going to make you beat him, but that means you have to find a matchup that you like. That's the route that, you're going to see Mahomes look towards. And okay, well, let's see what happens. Patrick Mahomes takes the snap. He's going to look over the middle of the field. There is pressure, but he gets the ball off. And there is a window. And, what do you think is going to happen here with this kind of window? The Chiefs get the completion, and they're well in field goal range with a stopped clock and 16 seconds left to go. I mean, it's crazy how, this was almost the original 13-second situation, because they had 32 seconds, and they needed only half of them. Now, we can go over here as well, as they did technically have a chance to score a touchdown, which, this is a game they lost in overtime. This was when the overtime rules hurt them, as they were not able to touch the ball. Their offense wasn't able to touch the ball in overtime. And right here, you can't really blame the Chiefs, though. I mean, look at how, I've circled 4 New England players. Those are the 4 that are on the screen right here. The other 3 are rushing the passer. So you still have, another 4 guys who are off the screen in the end zone right here. Not to mention how far off these guys are playing. They're not giving up anything. And the Chiefs, if they get tackled in bounds, the game could be over. So you can't risk that. You see Patrick Mahomes is going to eventually take the snap right here. He looks down the field, but as predicted, doesn't love what he sees. This is still going to be a smart play by Mahomes. He decides to just throw the football out of bounds right there, and they're going to say, let's just kick the field goal now, which they would make, and they would force overtime. Again, it's kind of been forgotten in time here because the Patriots would go on to win this game, but I feel like it should not be forgotten in time. It was still a very impressive moment by Patrick Mahomes in his young career, and would kind of be a sign of what's to come, even if they didn't win this game. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.